Hey everyone, my name is Courtney and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be the start of a reading vlog. I was really enjoying doing the weekly vlogs, but the weather was such shit last week, and when it's rainy and cloudy, I don't always get out of the house, and so it felt really weird for me to feel like I had to pick up my camera when there just wasn't shit going on. I also have been in a little bit of a reading slump, I guess, ever since I finished Notes on an Execution. I just haven't felt like reading anything because it was like so good that I just really have to switch my brain into a position where it can be open to other things. So I like the idea of a reading vlog versus a weekly vlog because then it will just follow one book and I don't have to leave the vlog hanging where I start a book but then finish it in the next one, and or start when I'm halfway through something else. So I think this will just be a little bit more well-rounded, and then if I don't have anything going on, I don't have to pick up my camera, and if I do, then I can include it in here. For this vlog, we are going to be reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I have read The Martian by him. My husband and I actually read that together a couple years ago, closer to when it first came out, and we both really liked it. It was super funny. I don't read a lot of like space fiction, but I loved the setting in space and just had a lot of fun reading it. I have heard that his second book wasn't as good, but that Project Hail Mary is very much in that similar humorous sort of style as The Martian. I honestly don't know much about it. I only really know what I've seen from what other people have said when they talk about it, and I believe that it is a man who is part of a space mission. Something goes wrong and he kind of has lost his memory due to whatever has gone wrong. And so now he has to figure out how to save this mission and save himself. So I'm really excited to get into it. Today is Saturday. I think we might go to one of my friends' house later if it's not raining. And we're probably going to go to Costco and just stock up on a bunch of stuff. And then tomorrow, we're hoping to go record shopping and go back to The Brood, that like horror themed coffee shop. So that's the plans. We've actually got some things going on over the next couple of days. I'm also getting my nails done tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. It also feels so weird to be vlogging and speaking out loud right now. Over the last couple of days, I don't want to jinx it, but my son has actually been napping in his crib. For the last 9 months, he has been a strict contact napper, and I don't mind it. You know, I work from home, don't really have a lot else going on, so I have enjoyed like holding him during his naps and just getting that extra snuggle time in. Yesterday I just had to put him in there for a minute while I did something else, and he fell asleep in his crib and stayed asleep for an hour, and I put him in almost 40 minutes ago and he's still sleeping. So typically our crib attempts have been pretty unsuccessful, and so I'm so proud of him, but I'm also a little bit sad. I really don't know what to do with myself now, so figured this was a good time to start a vlog and maybe get some reading in before he wakes up. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I will see you later. Hey everyone, happy Friday. I started this vlog on Saturday, and so almost a week has gone by, and there haven't been many updates because there haven't been many updates to give. Got about 20% of the way through Project Hail Mary, and about 6% of that I just read last night. So I have been moving through this one very slowly, and I am just still in like a little bit of a slump. So it is a little bit stressful for me that I haven't finished a book so far, and we are over a week into the month of April. I am starting to get a little bit more into the story. Basically, we have our main character, Ryland. He is a school teacher and he gets picked up to work on this project when this like alien life form is discovered. And this life form is possibly sucking all of the energy from the sun. So the sun is getting dimmer, which is obviously a huge problem for humanity. So far, I think it's fun. Like the narrator is very funny. I'm enjoying reading along with him. It is very technical though, which has been hard for me to get into at this point in time while I'm in this like little bit of a slump. I did talk to my husband about it this morning and I was like, I don't remember The Martian being so technical, or at least not technical in a way that was turning me off from reading it. And he was like, really? Like The Martian is so technical. I'm surprised you don't remember that. So I think it could just be my reading mood right now. Over the last week or so, Wolf has started napping in his crib. So while he's been napping, I have been reading. I would really like to get into another chunk of this today, and I thought this vlog would have been over days ago, but we continue on, and we're gonna finish this book because it's due back to the library in a week, and I'm really looking forward to some of the other books. I think that's also part of what's been hard for me to get into Project Hail Mary is I have so many other books right now that I'm excited to read. I'm really looking forward to getting into Brother and reading a super like horror focused read. I'm also going to be reading Just Kids this month, as you have seen already in my April TBR. And I'm also looking forward to that sort of like 1960s New York sort of vibe. So I feel like my heart is pulling me in directions that are not in space. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I'll have a better update for you guys soon. And we're coming up on the weekend, so hopefully we get into some fun stuff. Bye. Hello everyone, happy Monday. Big update. Basically, I have spent this entire week not processing time at all, and in my mind I've been feeling like I consistently have a week to read Project Hail Mary. And so I was just checking my Overdrive account the other day to see what my holds were looking like and what my currently checked out books were looking like in terms of time. And I have just over 2 days to finish reading Project Hail Mary. I am only 30% of the way through this so far. So that means that I have to try to read 70% of this book in the next 2 days. I think that this is possible, especially during my son's nap time. We don't have any plans for the next 2 nights, so I'm definitely going to be encouraging my husband to play Animal Crossing at night, so that way the TV is occupied and I don't have to focus on anything. I won't be distracted by TV. I'm just going to buckle down and try to finish reading. According to my Kindle timing, it's about 6.5 hours of reading time. So we're gonna go for it. We're gonna see what we can do. It pains me to think about the idea of not finishing this book after coming so far in the story and then having it go back to the library and having to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to get it back again to finish it. Also, I've kind of been vlogging, but I've been doing a bad job of it this week. Yesterday, we actually went out with some friends. We met up at the Bucket of Blood bookstore here in Chicago. And if you live in Chicago, and even if you don't, and you are a fan of horror, fantasy, sci-fi records, you have to go to Bucket of Blood. I hadn't been there in such a long time. and their book selection is crazy. Like, we ended up leaving with only 3 books, but we could have walked away with so much more. And then we went and got some drinks, and I didn't record any of it. I'm a little bit self-conscious about recording around my friends, and Bucket of Blood was popping. There were so many people in there, and I would have been so embarrassed to record any of it. But we went, and maybe a little bit later this evening, I'm going to show you what I got there, because I got 2 books that I'm very excited about, and my husband ended up getting the third, and it's something that I'll probably be looking at as well. So this vlog is going to ramp up because I've got a lot of reading to do, and I think if I vlog it a little bit more, it will hold me accountable. So fingers crossed. Leave a comment down below if you think I can do this. Bye! And show you guys what I picked up from Bucket of Blood yesterday. Actually, earlier I did try to read a little bit while Wolf was napping, and I ended up falling asleep myself, even though I had just drank a huge iced latte. So I'm hoping that maybe since I napped, I will have a little bit more power to crush some pages this evening. But in the meantime, the first book that I got was Kin by Keelan Patrick Burke. I have read his novella Sour Candy, and I think that was like a 3 out of 5 for me. It was just so short, very strange, super weird for sure, but I don't know. Novellas are sometimes hit or misses for me, and I wish that it had just been a little bit longer. But I picked this one up because I have seen, I think Gabby Reads maybe, or Jordaline talk about this. And as I was showing it to my friend, some stranger walked by and he was like, "That book is so good. It's so good." And he said that it was sort of like what would happen after the end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it is about a woman who escapes a cannibalistic sort of family. All of her friends are dead, and she gets away. So this sounded super fun, and just since he had great things to say about it, I'm going to put my trust in a complete stranger, and that was Kin. The next one that I got was We Need to Do Something by Max Booth III. This is a novella that I've also heard some other booktubers that I like talk about. And from my understanding, it's about a family trapped in a tornado shelter during a severe storm/tornado. And things start to get creepy, things start to get weird. It sounded really interesting, so I definitely picked that one up as well. We also got Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix. Even though I don't love Grady Hendrix's novels that much, you can definitely tell that he's a horror nerd. And this is a nonfiction from him about 70s and 80s horror fiction. Of course, these are known for having like the best covers of all time. And so there's lots of amazing covers, the histories of different trends and things in covers and in horror in general. So even though I don't love his fiction, I think maybe his nonfiction will be a little bit more enjoyable for me. And this was actually my husband's pick because we had a gift card cover most of these, and we felt bad only buying like $5 worth of stuff. So he added this on at the end, and I think it's going to be a really fun addition to our collection. And then today, while we were taking a walk to the park, we saw a couple of little free libraries, as you saw in the other clips. And the one book that I took from one is Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. And I have heard a few things about this. I could be making this up, but I think this was kind of popular on TikTok, and it's about a woman who accidentally murders her date. And so she calls in her mom and her aunties to help her conceal the body. Sounds super fun, kind of light and cute, despite the murder part of it. So I did pick this one up. It's very new. It's like in really great condition. So I think this will be a nice, fun, light summer read. That's all I've got so far. And wish me luck as I continue my reading of Project Hail Mary tonight. From me and my very drooly baby. I have an update. I have about 22 hours left on my hold of Project Hail Mary. And last night I ended up getting about 63% of the way through. So I still have quite a bit to go. However, I started yesterday at 27%, so I think that's some pretty epic progress. I ended up using an Audible credit to get the audiobook, and so that way I was able to knock it up to 2 times speed and read along on the Kindle, and it really helped me out. I do not have a science brain at all. So when I start reading a lot of science, my brain just shuts off and I end up falling asleep very quickly. And it's not that it's boring or written badly or anything. I think that is one of the benefits of Andy Weir's stories, is that his narrator is so conversational and funny that it makes getting through the science part of things much easier. The audiobook helped me stay awake. It kept me a lot more alert. I think I listened for like 3 hours last night after my baby went to bed, and I'm really enjoying it. The narrator does a really great job. He catches those inflections of our narrator, and I'm finally starting to see the end goal of this story. I think before, the overall mission was a little bit too broad, and now we have, a chance. I don't want to say too much if you are one of the few people who haven't read this yet, but I'm starting to see the point. And before, it was just so unclear of like what the end goal was, and so now I get it, which is nice because I am now rooting for our main character even more. We now have a companion, which I am also rooting for, and I am just really excited to finish this book today. I didn't know if getting the audiobook was going to be a waste of a credit, since I do really want to finish this by the time my library loan expires. But my husband said he would probably listen to it too. So it's just something that we can definitely have on hand for him to listen to when he gets to it. I've got a couple hours left of work. I have a doctor's appointment today, and then also a virtual happy hour with my coworkers. So I do have some stuff going on. I'm still hoping to listen a little bit while he naps later today. And then probably again tonight will be another binge, listen, read. And hopefully before I go to bed, I will have a final update for you in this vlog. Wish me luck. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I did it. I finished Project Hail Mary last night at like 10:45, and against all odds, really, we ended up going out last night for a couple of hours. We met up with my brother-in-law for some drinks while he was in town, and by the time Wolf went to bed, then it was dinner time, and so I didn't really get started until a little bit later in the evening, and I started with about 2 hours left. And like I knocked that audiobook up to 2 times speed. I was reading with my Kindle, and then my Kindle died. So I had to plug that in, and then I was only listening. And I have a really hard time listening to an audiobook if I'm not doing something else. And so like my husband was playing Animal Crossing, and I was kind of watching that, but then I started getting tired. So I was really trying to stay awake, and I did end up pulling it together, especially in the last 15 minutes, to make sure that I didn't miss anything. It's kind of an unpopular opinion rating, I think, but I did give this a 3.75 stars on Storygraph and 4 stars on Goodreads, just to round it up there. It was tough. It's tough to rate because I did enjoy the experience. I had a lot of fun. There is just so much math and science happening. And so you would have these little bursts of activity, these like bursts of like normal narrator monologue inside his brain. But then you get these like paragraphs of calculating distance and energy and time, and there's just so much science happening. And like I said earlier, I'm not a science-minded person. And with The Martian, still very science-based, but a lot of that science is rooted in stuff that I get, like farming. He's using a lot of science and like water creation essentially to create enough food to survive while people rush to save him. And so like farming I get. So when I'm reading science related to farming, it comes together. When I'm reading math and science in relation to space travel, relativity, fuel, travel distance, it loses me a little bit. I was also not quite put off by this fact, but our main character in Project Hail Mary, Ryland Grace, he is very similar to Mark Watney, just a little less profane. And so it kind of felt like I was reading the same book almost. I saw a Goodreads reviewer that I like. He said that The Martian and Project Hail Mary are kind of inverses of each other. So in The Martian, we have the world banding together to save one man. And in Project Hail Mary, we have one man working alone to save the world, which I thought was a great way to put it. I was rooting for our main character. I was rooting for our main character's companion. I loved any scene with Rocky. I'm not going to say much, but I loved him so much too as a character. It was super fun. It's just got a little bogged down with all of the math and science, so that is why I ended up taking it down a star. I wanted to know a little bit more about Ryland Grace before he gets wrapped up in this catastrophe and this dilemma to save the world. All we really get to know of his life before is that he was a teacher. And I really wanted to know how like a doctor of science ended up teaching middle school. He knows so much and like stuff that is beyond, I would say, like a normal middle school science teacher's scope of knowledge. And so I wish I would have known like why. I wish I would have known a little bit more about his family or his life in general before he's shot into space. And some of the other characters that are there, they're very two-dimensional. So they have like one defining characteristic and that's it. So he has like one scientist he's working with who is just like very blunt about his sexual exploits and that's his personality. Another astronaut he's working with drinks all the time and that's her personality. So some of the other characters felt a little bit flat, and when we are reading so much about one man specifically, I wish that we could have seen how those characters made a better impression on him, because he is missing these characters or thinking about them, but like what we know about them, would we care as much? I don't know. Overall, I did like it. I am glad that I read it. I feel smarter having read it. Reading so much math and science, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a big brain energy sort of book. And, you know, there are valuable things to take away in here. It just wasn't that ultimate 5-star sort of read for me. And even a 4-star is kind of stretching it, just since I did have enough like things holding me back from loving it all the way. I do have like a very specific group of people in mind who I'd recommend this to. I don't think I would recommend it to everyone, especially in my personal life. So that was Project Hail Mary. We did it. We faced a lot of distractions, reading slumps, library deadlines, and we still did it. So I'm going to wrap up this vlog here. I'm probably going to start another one today or tomorrow, because I am going to be reading Tender is the Flesh, and I think that one will be super fun to do a reading vlog for. Plus, this weekend is my birthday, so I'll be able to include my birthday plans, my Easter plans, and I think that will be a really exciting one, so I'm looking forward to doing that. If you are new here, please be sure to subscribe. I'm hoping this will be coming up on Wednesday, the 13th. So if you are seeing this, my birthday is on Friday, the 15th, and it's my goal to hit 100 subscribers. So please hit the subscribe button. I am really looking forward to making even more videos in my 31st year. Like this video, leave a comment below with what you thought of Project Hail Mary, or if it's on your TBR. I'm just curious to hear what your thoughts were, especially if it's not necessarily a 5-star read for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!